Each of you is the creator of your own reality. If you believe with faith, no effort is necessary to see the realization of all your desires. This is the essence of my teachings, which I have dedicated my life to sharing with the world. Allow me to introduce myself. I was born in Barbados and devoted my life to studying the Bible, mysticism, and personal development in the first half of the last century. In my approach, I affirm that any person, anywhere, can achieve the manifestation of what they truly desire with the power of imagination and the correct handling of their emotions. Most of my teachings are based on the Bible, as I firmly believe it is an incredible psychological book rather than a historical one. All the characters and events described in the Bible are mental interpretations, as well as divine states that any of us could apply in our lives. What I have done is develop techniques to demonstrate the unlimited power of our mind when we truly focus on something specific for a long period of time. Today, I will share with you the 10 most powerful techniques I have taught to manifest our desires. I invite you to stay until the end to discover which is the most famous and effective technique of all. The first technique, imaginary acts are real. Imagining creates the reality of each of us. This is one of my most basic techniques, as the belief that anything we imagine can become reality is one of the fundamental convictions that have shaped all my work. This technique consists of imagining that everything you wish to achieve has already happened. More than that, you need to feel, especially feel with your body, mind, and heart, that what you imagine has already occurred. Keep that image in your mind and that feeling in your heart. Imagine the people, the objects, and everything around you. Observe, appreciate, feel, smell, and taste the scenario you're in. The goal of these mental conversations is to make your mind feel as if it has already experienced something that has happened. When you imagine what people will say to you, this strengthens your faith even more. But you need to imagine the conversation with many details, even the gleam of joy they will have in their eyes. Add the happiness in their voice, the good appearance, and any other detail that comes to your mind. You can repeat this exercise several times a day. Close your eyes and breathe deeply to relax. It is recommended that you add more and more intention each time you practice it. The second technique, the mood technique. I always said that a mood is a catalyst for action. In other words, depending on the mood you're in, you will act differently. That's why I had a technique for creating your own mood and turning it into your reality. For example, if I was sad, I would create a mood of happiness within myself and then concentrate on that state of happiness until it became my predominant state. A very important aspect of this technique is to concentrate on the mood you are creating. If you feel it only temporarily, it won't be very useful, as it will disappear quickly. But if you maintain that state, it becomes, let's say, your dwelling or your constant mood. People can create any mood within themselves and then bring it into reality. For example, I talked about moods or feelings that can lead you to accomplish any of your desires. These moods, emotions, or feelings are happiness, joy, jubilation, and gratitude. You just need to create that feeling, that emotion within yourself, with the firm belief that you can achieve anything, and then live in that state for most of your life. The third technique, the congratulations technique. This simple technique for manifesting your dreams, as I described it, is to start by imagining that you have already realized your dream, that dream is already a reality. Then, imagine another person, like a friend or family member, who is wholeheartedly congratulating you. You should imagine this exercise in the most realistic way possible, visualizing your friend or family member in great detail. You can even imagine how they will shake your hand and congratulate you, feeling the handshake. Don't limit yourself in your thoughts. Imagine people congratulating you, telling you that your goal was a gift from God to God, acknowledging that you deserve it and that, therefore, it was God's will to bless you with it. The fourth technique, the breathing technique. The breathing technique I used to teach my students consisted of visualizing the goal while doing a breathing exercise. This breathing exercise involves inhaling and exhaling through the nose, initially slowly for 1 or 2 minutes, until you feel well relaxed. Then, ask yourself how you would feel if your desires were already manifested. Then, you will invite happiness to enter you. Additionally, you should repeat in your mind the word thank you 3 times, while feeling that your desire is already a reality. Gradually, along with breathing, begin to accelerate your heart rate and also start to emit the joy you want to feel. You should feel a lot of joy as you perceive how that energy is fueled by the results you desire and the results you were visualizing. These accelerated breaths will lead you to a burst of energy. In fact, I compared this exercise to the sexual act, recommending doing it only once. I said that, just as in that act, once the egg is fertilized, all that remains is to wait for the baby to arrive. The fifth technique, the law of assumption. This technique, also called the dare to assume technique, is quite powerful because it requires you to be super committed to your goal and have high self-esteem. Again, enter a meditative state. Imagine that your goal is already real and feel everything you would feel in that situation, until there is no difference between imagination and reality. Allow yourself to intensely feel that the event has already happened and intensify that sensation until it reaches its peak. When you finish the meditation, continue feeling that your dreams have already come true, and then feel and act exactly as you would in that situation. Transform yourself into your ideal, embody who you need to become to attract what you desire. Feel, assume that you already are and that you already have what you want. This technique requires commitment, discipline, and high self-esteem, because if you feel like a failure, if you judge yourself all the time for not having certain things and forget that while there is life, there is hope, I recommend that before applying this technique, you work more on your inner self. Here's an example. How do you know that at this moment you don't have a convertible car in your garage? Well, you don't know, because you're not looking at the garage right now. But your reaction is to say, I don't have it. How do you know if you're not looking at your garage right now? That's the trick, just feel it, feel it. Don't go check your garage, it's not necessary, it's already there. Because if you knew it was already there, you wouldn't go to the garage to check either, since you know it's there. That's the same. Assume your desire is there, don't look for it. Don't go see if it's there or not, just feel that it is, just feel. The sixth technique, the eavesdropping technique. This technique is also called the eavesdropping technique, which is another powerful and imaginative act. To execute this technique, the first thing you should do, of course, is enter a meditative state. Then, imagine that you are overhearing a conversation between your friends and acquaintances talking about you and the fact that you have already achieved your goal. Imagine that you clearly hear the wonderful things they are saying about you. Visualize in great detail who is speaking and what they are saying, from the tone of voice, the words they use, how it makes you feel, and turn these feelings into true feelings. Think that some of your friends are saying words of praise, of admiration, or some are surprised, and feel how gratifying it is to perceive that people are speaking well of you, that you have already fulfilled your desire. Then, what you imagine they say, internalize it and feel that it has become reality. The seventh technique, the SATTS technique. SATTS, which stands for state akin to sleep, refers to the deep state of consciousness during meditation or just before falling asleep. Enter a state of feeling and visualizing just before sleep. This is another powerful technique for manifesting and consists of participating in a meditation in which you visualize exactly what you want just before falling asleep. The best time to do this meditation is when you are a little drowsy, because when you are in that state, you can enhance your mental powers and facilitate the manifestation process. What you should do is lie down in bed and, before falling asleep, create a powerful and detailed visualization of what you want to achieve, as if it had already happened, and try to feel the same emotions you would feel if it were real. The key to this technique is to do it for long enough before falling asleep and try not to fall asleep too quickly, but to take advantage of the power of your sleepy mind to make your manifestation stronger. If you are correctly involved in the technique, you should feel the moment when a sufficient amount of energy is sent towards your goal, and then you will be ready to fall asleep, knowing that your goal has already been achieved. For this, I also recommend that if you haven't yet defined your concrete goal, create or listen to an audio of positive affirmations before sleeping to impregnate your subconscious. This will strengthen your belief. The eighth technique, the scissors technique. This is a technique to be performed at night, because when I talk about revision, I refer to the act of mentally reviewing our day as if it were a movie. what we did, how we felt, what we did well, what we did wrong, what we would have done differently to feel better or make those we love feel better. In short, a complete balance of the day. Then, sitting quietly and relaxed before going to sleep, you will relive and see with your eyes closed how your day was. When you find a negative situation, be it a misunderstanding, fight, bad news or encounter with someone negative, take your imaginary scissors, cut that scene and instead place one that reflects how you would have liked that moment to have been. You can cut and replace from small details to big disagreements, and even relationships that you would like to improve so that they are not toxic or bad energy influences. Basically, remove from your day what doesn't do you good and put in its place what you want to receive from the universe. The 9th technique, the mirror technique. Did you know that you can use a mirror to attract your desires and create your reality? This is an exercise that many very successful people use frequently. The mirror can help to visualize and recreate more effectively the person you want to be, as well as the things you want to manifest in your life. This mirror technique exercise has an immediate impact on your subconscious mind, making it very powerful when it comes to creating your reality. The way I recommend using the mirror allows us to greatly accelerate the process of manifesting the desired reality. This wonderful technique consists of standing in front of a mirror and carefully looking at that reflected image without judging, without thinking about anything. Just observe your image. Now you are going to smile and at the same time visualize in your imagination, but with your eyes open, your ideal self. Make a small effort in your imagination and recreate in the mirror the image of the happy, rich and successful person you are becoming. Try to keep your smile, because with the simple act of smiling you will be releasing endorphins in your body and this will make you feel very good, which will powerfully reinforce your creative and emotional visualization of your ideal self. Then, while smiling, observe yourself in the mirror with elegant and luxurious clothes. Know that you have your wallet in your pocket overflowing with money. Look into your eyes and say, "I remember when my reflection was so different. Now I am rich, successful, powerful and happy." You can squint to visualize your goal already achieved. It is recommended to perform this technique in the morning before starting your daily activities, but you can also do it in the afternoon or at night before sleeping if you prefer. It will normally take only a few minutes to do it. The 10th technique, the ladder technique. This technique is known as the most famous and effective of my teachings. This imagination exercise should be repeated every night when lying down to rest. I will explain this powerful technique to you in 3 stages. Step 1. Once you are lying down, before sleeping, you are going to imagine that you are climbing a ladder. This ladder should be of the single flight type, which needs a surface to lean on, such as a wall, similar to what we can find in some construction or in professions where work at a certain height is required. The specific orientation is that this visualization be in first person, that is, we imagine climbing first one foot, holding on with our hands, then the other foot, and so on until climbing all the steps. The idea is not to imagine ourselves seeing ourselves climb that ladder, but to experience that scene as it would be in reality. Step 2. In the morning, place notes in all the corners where you can inevitably see them. It can be on the bathroom mirror, on the refrigerator door, in the drawer you use the most, on your work table, in your wallet, all the places where your mind doesn't stop remembering throughout the day the following message: "I'm not going to climb the ladder." That's right, in negative. As we have mentioned in various articles about the law of attraction, the brain does not register the word no in what we say. That is why the importance and suggestion of always asking in an affirmative way for what we want to have. With this we make sure not to make the mistake of using it in an inverted way. We must learn to decree. Starting to decree in negative is neither wrong nor correct, it is simply, in my opinion, a little less simple to execute. For example, one of the most classic requests is wanting to attract more money. If we say, "I don't want to continue having problems with money," what is interpreted is, "I want to continue having problems." We are making the mistake of manifesting precisely more reasons to lose money. The correct thing in negative would be, for example, "I don't want to have so much money," and we imagine ourselves every night with so much money that we would no longer know what to do with it. Step 3. Repeat this exercise daily for 2 weeks. The intention with this practice is to frequently focus on the action of climbing the ladder, both during the day when we are more active, and during the night in a more relaxed state. In some of my lectures, I had my students experience this exercise, and the results they described were truly surprising. They manifested that after 3 days of visualizing climbing a ladder, somehow they repeatedly found themselves in real-life situations where they needed to climb a ladder. After listening to the students, I explained that climbing the ladder was just an example of the exercise. You can substitute climbing a ladder for imagining doing anything else, because what we experience in our imagination we also create in reality. All manifestation techniques are very effective and are based on the power of imagination. As you will have already perceived, all techniques have something in common: they use visualization and are based on the power of the mind. The techniques are not identical, but they are very similar because they are based on the same philosophy that when we imagine, we create our reality. Of course, if a technique appeals to you, use it as many times as you want. I wish you a life full of success and abundance. See you soon. Dear viewers, we have reached the end of this transformative journey through the 10 most powerful techniques to manifest our desires. Remember, the power has always been within you. You are powerful and immortal spiritual energy living an earthly experience. Each of you is the creator of your own reality. I invite you to put these techniques into practice with faith and persistence. Don't be discouraged if you don't see immediate results. Manifestation is a process that requires patience and trust. Continue imagining, feeling, and living as if your desires were already reality. Always remember that imagination is the true creative force of the universe. Use it wisely, with love and compassion, not only for your personal benefit, but for the good of all humanity. Before we say goodbye, I leave you with one last reflection: the life you are living now is the result of your past thoughts and beliefs. The life you will live tomorrow will be the result of the thoughts and beliefs you choose today. Choose wisely. Thank you for accompanying me on this journey of discovery and transformation. May the light of your true self illuminate your path, and may your manifestations bring blessings not only to your lives, but to the whole world. Until our next encounter, remember, you are the architects of your destiny, the sculptors of your reality. Every thought, every emotion, every action is a brushstroke on the canvas of your life. Paint boldly, with passion and with love. Your journey of transformation begins now. Go forth, and may the power of manifestation guide you towards a life of abundance, joy, and fulfillment.